All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Make sure you like and share this. Hatred don't stop us from doing anything, man. We was having a phenomenal show. We're gonna get back to what we was doing. All right, this is Rise Up Unlimited Radio Show, WDAP Radio, WDAP TV. Shout out to again Daddy O's Pizza for supporting all the shows that we do. Shout out to Miss Goodie's Restaurant as well. If you're looking for some good old breakfast, you go right down to Miss Goodie's. You can look them up on Google, find a number, and they will provide that good that you're looking for. All right. With that being said, as far as good stuff, you about to get some good stuff right now. All right. Regardless, man, we're going to keep pumping, keep doing it, keep putting out great content, some great show ideas right here. And this is another one. I have the AFC champion representative right here in the building. Like I said, in the building, I got Thunder Blaze Gabbert in the building representing the Cincinnati Bengals. Who they? What's good?
Who they all day? Cincinnati, we won the AFC. We're doing big things this year. And for anybody that don't know, it's Blaze Thunder or Thunder Blaze. It don't matter.
That's right. Now, this guy, he turned it off. Oh, gamemanship early. Turned his camera off. He said, man, forget who they, right? That's what he's in right now in his head. Look at him.
He thinks he's the Niners. He thinks he's the Niners blacking out in the Super Bowl. No. Get out of here.
Oh, see, gamemanship. Here we go again. Gamemanship early. I got my guy who is the NFC champion representative of the LA Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, who won the NFC. My guy, the statistician guru, Eric Manzuck. What's good, Eric?
Not a whole lot. Trying to finish this out on a high note.
But obviously, we want y'all to like and share. We was having a good time earlier before all the hatred and the account hacking that was going on. But nevertheless, we're gonna get right back to it. If you were watching earlier, we were having debates on why each team in each position would be the reasons for their prospective teams winning the Super Bowl coming up. We talked about the quarterback position earlier. We talked about the offensive line, and we was about to get into some running back talk. So you guys, I give you about 5 minutes apiece to just reiterate those three real quick. 5 minutes apiece to reiterate each positions, and then we'll go from there. All right. So like and share. I'm gonna start with Eric Manzuck. Reiterate your quarterback, running back, and offensive line positions and why they will stand out as Super Bowl champs. Starting with you.
I'll make a long story short. It's just our team has been so consistent throughout the year. And, I know that Stafford had led the league in interceptions, but he's really turned it around. Playoffs, he has been phenomenal. Like I said, 905 yards in the playoffs, 6 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He's been sacked 5 times. Burrow has thrown for 842 with 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he's been sacked 12 times. So, as far as I'm concerned, the way I look at things right now, our offensive line is protecting Stafford. Cincinnati is not protecting Burrow. And I think we're going to show the whole world why the Rams are the NFC champions and soon to be Super Bowl champs.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Matthew Stafford's having a phenomenal playoffs towards the end of the season. He was kind of coming up a little bit small in some big games. So kudos to Matthew Stafford. And there's a reason he's there. He's the number 1 pick in the draft. They gave up a first-round pick to get him. Definitely a better quarterback than Jared Goff. With that being said, I did say that Joe Burrow was a better quarterback, and that was straight facts. America knows if you have one game and everything, all the marbles, you're going to pick Joe Burrow over Matthew Stafford under any circumstances. And as far as the offensive line, definitely an issue for the Cincinnati Bengals. With that deficiency at the offensive line, we have the better running back in Joe Mixon. And I did call Cam Akers a bootleg Joe Mixon with Butterfingers.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now, we definitely need to get into our wide receiver position. Do y'all want to rebut each other real quick on those premises real quick, or can we go right to the wide receiver position? Can we get right into the milk and honey of the offense real quick? Wide receivers and tight ends. I'm gonna start with my guy Blaze. Let him 3 minutes tell us why his wide receiving core will win the Super Bowl. Go right ahead.
Definitely. I think this is the closest matchup of all the matchups. I think that, my team does some things better. I think that the Rams do some things better. But I think the wide receivers can be one of the most debated topics as for both teams. The reason why my wide receiving core is better is because we have first-year superstar stud Jamar Chase, who has that once-in-a-lifetime connection with the quarterback Joe Burrow. That cannot be duplicated. Also, our number 2 receiver, another high second-round draft pick in T. Higgins, gives us that big body stretch down the field if Jamar Chase gets double covered. And then to top all this off, another second-round pick, very underrated Tyler Boyd, who runs very, very crisp routes, does not drop balls. I do not have the stat at the top of my head, but his drop ball percentage over the last 2, 3, 4 years, ever since he got in the NFL, is amazing. These wide receivers, as far as a trio, are better than the Rams, whatever the Rams can present. And then are we throwing tight ends in this, or is this just strictly receivers?
Oh, no, we throwing tight ends in too.
We're throwing tight ends. Okay, I got to give my man CJ Uzomah a lot of love. He did get injured last game. He has an MCL sprain. So I will give him some love. Our backups are not really pass catchers. They're more of blocking tight ends, but they're going to play a big role for that defensive line that's going to be trucking at my quarterback. So they will play a significant role, not so much in the passing game, in my opinion, but more of the chip blocking game and block schemes. But CJ Uzomah is one of our crucial hype men, so he'll be on the sidelines if he cannot make the progression to get to game time ready. So he will definitely play a role as well. So Cincinnati Bengals receivers are better.
Your turn, Eric. Man's up.
One name, Cooper Kupp, Mr. Triple Crown himself, who led the league and set a new record for the receiver and scrimmage yards for a season, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. Cooper Kupp, just in this postseason alone, 25 catches, 386 yards, 4 touchdowns, averaging 128.6 yards per game. Jamar Chase in the playoffs, 20 catches, 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 93 yards per game. This is a no-brainer to me. You've got the best wide receiver in the NFL statistically, hands down. I mean, literally, he just shattered a record set by Jerry Rice. Literally, Cooper Kupp has 2,273 yards between the regular season and postseason. It's not a debate what this thing is right now. Cooper Kupp is just going to hands down beat Cincinnati's defense down the field all 4 quarters. Tyler Higbee being a huge integral part of this offense, going down with the knee injury. I get it. But Kendall Blanton, OBJ, doing so much. Van Jefferson. They have so many weapons, and the fact that Cooper Kupp has just set a brand new record with Matthew Stafford in his first year. You go back a year ago, he only had 972 yards catching with Jared Goff. This season has 1,000 more yards. Obviously, the problem was Goff, and now that Cooper Kupp has found a quarterback he can trust, there is no doubt if he has another big game on the Super Bowl, it's going to be very hard for Cincinnati to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, I will not disagree with you. Cooper Kupp is definitely the best NFL receiver in football this year. He's not only shown it in the regular season, he's shown it in the postseason. Odell Beckham has fit into the number 2 receiver role very nicely. I had stated when it's his time with the Browns, he's not a number 1 receiver anymore. He's a number 2 receiver, and he has definitely stepped in that role good. As far as Van Jefferson, he's a nice player, but we're not going to put him on the same level as Tyler Boyd. Higbee, a good tight end also as well. Yes, our main focus will be to stop Cooper Kupp, but part of that main focus to stop Cooper Kupp is to drop a lot of guys back into coverage and to rush 4, traditionally rush 4. We're not going to do a lot of blitzes, so it's going to leave more guys out in coverage. And if we can stop the run and force Matthew Stafford to throw the ball, yes, it does not matter how much Cooper Kupp is a great player. He will turn the ball over, and that will be detrimental to your team.
Yeah, I got you. Yo, all right. Any rebuts to the wide receiver debate? 1 minute. Here you go, Eric Manzuck.
I think what we're gonna have to do is it's gonna come down to Jalen Ramsey's gonna have to, match up with Jamar Chase. That's gonna be first and foremost. He literally, as a rookie, had 1,455 yards this season, an impressive rookie season in his debut. There's no doubt about that. He is a very talented player. I think it's going to be an entire team effort trying to contain him all game, and they can't let him get loose because if he does, he's going to get out in the open. He's going to use his speed. So that's my one thing they got to be careful with. Other than that, I look for it to be a very high-scoring game, and I think we're going to see a lot of possibly records set in this game.
Well, that was easy. Eric. Blaze, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How good is T. Higgins?
T. Higgins is a phenomenal receiver. He has struggled with a little bit of drops in the playoffs. I've seen a couple of balls that were easy balls that went his way. Not so much in the Chiefs game, but in the Titans game and the Raiders game, I've seen a couple balls that he dropped. But also, he's a big-time receiver. He's won national championship at Clemson. He definitely stepped up last week against the Chiefs because we knew that going to the Chiefs game that Jamar Chase, who had 266 yards in the Week 17 matchup, he was definitely going to get double cover, which he was. So T. Higgins definitely stepped up big time. T. Higgins is a phenomenal receiver.
All right, interesting enough. You guys can vote right now. Who's got the better? Who's talking? Who's talking to you more? Who's got your attention? Is it this guy, Eric Manzuck, or is it this guy? We got the AFC representative right here, Blaze. We got Blaze Gabbert. He's the AFC representative, and we got the NFC representative, and Eric Manzuck in the building. All right. Let's talk a little bit on the defensive side. If you want to talk special teams, we can. But if you want to talk defense, let's get to it. You want to go special teams or defense?
Let's start with the defense for sure.
All right, so let's talk defensive line. I'll let Blaze start first, and then Eric, you next. 3 minutes.
Awesome. Our defensive line is underrated. I mean, I would consider them underrated. They have stats to back it up. Not the best with sacks, but 44 is not too shabby. We've spent money over the last couple of years. Cincinnati's always been traditionally a cheap team. Doesn't go into free agency. Homegrown talent. We spent money after having one of the worst run defenses 3 years ago. We spent money 2 years ago on DJ Reader. He's been a huge upgrade. He helps with the run game so much. And then last season, we let Carl Lawson go, which a lot of Bengals fans were kind of worried about. We didn't get a lot of sacks last year. We brought in Trey Henderson from the Saints, and he has been phenomenal. Trey Henderson gets after the quarterback. Sam Hubbard, another homegrown guy from Cincinnati, born in Cincinnati, college at Ohio State. He plays a perfect high motor role for us. We have a good defensive line that plays as a unit, and that's another thing about the Cincinnati Bengals team. Every facet of our game, except the offensive line, plays as a unit. These guys, we don't have just one guy because when he gets to the Rams, he's got a guy that anybody would drool to have on their defense. But this Cincinnati defense plays as a unit, and I think we're going to get some pressures, more pressures than what the Rams are thinking are going to come in their way. So go ahead with the Rams.
Let me just first and foremost say the one name that everyone will fear come Super Bowl time. Aaron Donald. Arguably has been described by players, coaches, general managers, anybody that's associated with the NFL, the best defensive interior lineman in the NFL, hands down. You're looking at a guy that's, 3-time defensive player of the year. You had guys like Greg Gaines, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, Eric Weddle, Jalen Ramsey. You put all of those ingredients around Aaron Donald, that just makes his lust for wanting to be better as a defensive player that much more great. Like, literally, look at these numbers right now. If you actually looked at this right here, the LA Rams had 25 takeaways this year. Cincinnati had 21. But here's what's something interesting about the LA Rams with their defense. The longest run they gave up this past season was 54 yards. Cincinnati was one of 7 teams that gave up a run of 70 or more yards. Just think about that. This postseason, the Rams have not really allowed a lot of rushing yards to happen. Their games against Arizona, the game against Tampa, and the games against San Francisco. Each team was held under 100 yards rushing. This Rams team on the run is just absolutely incredible for what they're able to accomplish. When they smother you in the backfield and put pressure on you, there is no escape. And when Aaron Donald gets to you, which he will, you're not going down. You're going to go down. You're not going to stop him from getting to you. You watch the game against, San Francisco on that last series. What happened? Aaron Donald broke through, got to Jimmy Garoppolo, forced the bad throw into the interception. This Rams defense will not let you go. Once they get a lock and a hold of you, they keep it on. They are like an anaconda. Once they have that grip, they keep squeezing and squeezing until you're out of breath. And that's what is going to be so critical for the Cincinnati Bengals to have to deal with. Aaron Donald and this defense, because even our secondary with Jalen Ramsey, you got Eric Weddle and Von Miller all out there. Everybody plays a critical role in this defense, whether it's up front and on the line, the safeties, the corners, you name it. Everybody has a pivotal role. And come Super Bowl, this Rams defense is going to make the biggest statement of all, that they're the best team in the NFL and that Aaron Donald is a force to be reckoned with once again.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is a force to be reckoned with, even with a good offensive line. I mean, I consider the 49ers to have a really good offensive line, and he was definitely an issue. I will say that if you are a Rams fan or if you think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald is a plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl MVP, and that would be definitely something to look at. That's all I got to say.
I will say this in one rebuttaling. The history between the Rams and the Bengals, 3 out of the last 4 games have been won by Cincinnati, with the most recent one, the LA Rams won in 2019, 24-10. Prior to that is when they were in St. Louis as the Rams. So this is going to be different. First game as, LA, the Rams took it. So now that they've had a few years, I'm sure they've watched the game film from 2019, and I'm sure they've watched game film from this year to see how the Bengals are. I know the Rams are going to be prepared, and I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup.
The thing about that 20,000, the thing about that 2019 game tape is the Cincinnati Bengals can utilize it. The Rams have to throw that whole game tape away because you're only going to find about 3 or 4 Bengals from that 2019 team that's still on the team, and one of them is a punter. So,
well, we had Jared Goff then too, so it's so much different now.
That is true, but one advantage is too is our coach Zach Taylor was coaching in LA in 2018 with Sean McVay. So a lot of those guys that are still on that roster, our coach is seen up close and personal in practice and in game time. So definitely excited about that advantage we have too.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about now. Either one of you want to rebut? Because I mean, y'all both got great defensive lines here. Great defensive lines. I mean, what do you guys think that's watching right now? Do you think the Bengals defensive line is better, or do you think the Rams defensive line is better? Put it in the comment section right now. Let us know. Like and share, what's going on here. We got, once again, on the Rise Up Unlimited radio show, we have Eric Manzuck representing the Rams, the LA Rams. All right, the NFC champions. And we got Thunder Blaze or Blaze Thunder Gabbert. I call him Blaze and the Monster Machines. But we got him representing the AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals. And I look forward to a fun, exciting battle-worthy Super Bowl for once. Something that doesn't feel corporate, something that doesn't feel disingenuous. I like this Super Bowl, and I can't wait. So I wanted to talk more about the linebacking position. You guys on the linebacker side, let me know about your linebackers. I'll start with Eric Man's up. Let me know. 3 minutes.
First and foremost, this is going to come down to Von Miller coming up from the middle and being on the edge. I mean, you talk about a pass rusher from the outsider coming up the middle. Von Miller, this time in Denver, just an absolute monster at his position. He can help you out in so many ways, whether he's blitzing, he's single-man coverage, whatever the case may be. He finds a way to put pressure on offenses, from his standpoint. He brings so much to the table with his veteran leadership and, just his inside edge. Having worked with, Peyton Manning, working with Denver. Because if you remember correctly, Denver at one point was one of the top defenses with Peyton Manning. This was a team that was one of the number one defenses in every almost statistical category you could think of. That year they won the Super Bowl, they were the top defense going up against Carolina. And they held Carolina to only 10 points in the Super Bowl. So Von Miller has, without a doubt, some of the best expectations for this LA Rams defense. And I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him from trying to bring another Super Bowl, because that's what his main goal was, to win one, not only for his team, his family, but he wants to win one for the organization. He wants to make his, career last longer here than he was with, Denver. And I truly believe, no doubt, that Von Miller, his presence will be felt against Cincinnati, and that he is going to make some big-time plays to help seal the deal.
Yeah, Von Miller's a great player. I've enjoyed his career. I think he's not quite as explosive as he was that first Super Bowl. He'll definitely play a role, especially one of your guys' key matchups is going to be getting after the quarterback. So how do we try and get rid of that? We got to try and get a lead early to try and make sure that these guys aren't blitzing that much. And as far as blitzing, Joe Burrow is very, very good when getting blitzed. That is one advantage I think that we have. They have a good linebacking core, but it's more of a pass rush linebacking core. And what we're going to try to do is spread these guys out, get them in coverage, and create mismatches like that. You did state earlier about the run defense. Joe Mixon definitely has to get involved, but to try and minimize that pressure. Also, Joe Burrow gets the ball out of his hands very fast. But that's enough about your guys' linebacker core. I'm going to talk about mine. Cincinnati Bengals run a 2-linebacker system. We have Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson, both third-round picks, one in 2020, one in 2021. One in 2019, one in 2020. They're both very good in coverage. Logan Wilson, one of my favorite guys going into the year, has definitely took a step forward. He used to play defensive back in college, so he definitely has the coverage skills. But yeah, we only run 2 linebackers, and they're both coverage guys, so I think that's going to play an advantage because we're going to need to drop some of these guys in coverage for Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham.
All right, you guys get 1 minute apiece to rebut on what's been said, and then everybody that's listening in, tuning in, give us your thoughts on what you're hearing so far about these two phenomenal teams as the Super Bowl approaches. 1 minute, Eric Manzuck, go ahead and rebut.
The only thing my concern with is with our secondary. I was looking up some of the numbers. We had the 23rd ranked defense in terms of wide receiver, when it came to guarding, giving up big chunks of yardage on plays, especially with, penalties. My thing is that with our defense, and even with Blaze, and I'm sure you could attest, when you give up big plays to, offenses, especially with wide receivers or running, your defense is so critical, and especially on passing touchdowns. Our defense only gave up 17 touchdowns the entire year, which was second behind Buffalo with 12. So from my standpoint, I think Cincinnati's going to have a much harder time guarding our wide receivers and tight ends than we will with theirs, strictly because I think we were more consistent at guarding the long ball. So for me, it's going to come down to what team is going to make the stops when they matter and who's going to have the ball last. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, as far as linebackers, over the last couple weeks, I think we've got some great experience under our belt because we played the Tennessee Titans, who are a heavy run team. They got powerful running back Derrick Henry, who was coming back from injury, so I don't think he was quite 100% the guy that we're used to. But he definitely did make some good plays, and then Foreman also made some good plays. The offensive line over there is also outstanding. So we played that physical run team, and then last week we played the best tight end in football, Travis Kelce, and the most explosive receiver in Tyreek Hill. So I feel that we've seen all facets of the game, and you guys definitely have, elements like Cooper Kupp's. I think he's the best route runner in the league right now. Actually, second. I have Devontae Adams number one, but we also seen Devontae Adams earlier in the year too. So I think we've had all these matchups that are going to give us crucial experience for playing you guys, and I think our linebackers are going to be a big part of that.
All right, all right. Like what I'm hearing. Let's get right to the secondary. Start with you, Blaze.
Yeah, our secondary, it just depends on, if we're going stats-wise, it really depends on what you're trying to look at. We give up a lot of yards. Cooper Kupp, yeah, I put him over 100 yards. One thing we are good at is we don't give up as many scores. We'll give up the yards, but when it comes down to crunch time, red zone, we don't give up the scores, especially in the second half. We've definitely proven that in the first half. We played Kansas State twice that we can give up the points, but we make the halftime adjustments, which are critical. Our secondary, our safeties are very, very good. We got Jesse Bates, arguably one of the best free safeties in the league. And then we got hard-hitting Von Miller, strong safety who also intercept the ball, make crucial run stops. Our cornerbacks are, I would say, they're good. They're decent. They're average as a unit. We don't have any superstars. We have Chinadu Awuzie, who is proven to be good, but he's also proven as of late, especially, that he can give up some big plays. And then, surprise, surprise, Eli Apple, a guy who was, exiled from the Saints and Giants, has found a resurgence in play as of late. You can count that he'll have one boneheaded penalty in the game, but if he keeps playing the way he's playing, it's definitely going to be trouble. He almost had the pick six to win the game last week, but slipped through his fingers, kind of like how the Rams would have missed the playoffs if that interception wouldn't have slipped through Mr. Tart's fingers.
Gamemanship. All right, Eric, your turn. Secondary.
As I mentioned, our secondary is going to start and end with Jalen Ramsey. Coming over from Jacksonville, and you saw what happened last year. A lot of missed opportunities that he had. This year, he's a much different transformed player. I mean, he is attacking every game so heavily, just so critically. He's making sure that every play matters, whether it's trying to get an interception, getting a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He's doing whatever he can to make sure that defense helps out from the backside as much as it does up on the front line. And for Jalen Ramsey this year, I think he wants to prove a point. He wants to shut up all the naysayers that have critiqued him ever since he came from Jacksonville. And I truly believe with our defense with him. I mean, like I said earlier, we had 25 takeaways, 19 of them being interceptions with 6 forced fumbles. So this is a secondary that knows how to take the ball away and give the Rams chances on offense. So don't be surprised if Burrow is going to be throwing it towards Jalen Ramsey and the rest of our secondary, because if they get a lock on that ball, they're going to take advantage of it, and they will not look back.
Yeah, I think Jalen Ramsey is. I always had Jalen Ramsey as my top corner over the last few years. One issue I think that you guys will have is you guys have emotional guys. I think that if a crucial situation happens in the game, you guys have guys like Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald who are very, very passionate. But sometimes, those guys I've seen Jalen Ramsey slap, one of his teammates in the huddle before. So, it could be an issue where, emotions run high in a critical game and you guys get dysfunctional. And the lack of experience that people will talk about with the Bengals could be our advantage because this team don't know any better. You know what I mean? Everyone can talk about the history of the Bengals and 31 playoff drought, but this team don't know that. All this team knows is they go to the playoffs and they win. And they don't ever give up. This team never gives up. We've been down in this playoffs. We've had teams come back, but we fight all 60 minutes. And then we've proven that if we go to overtime, we'll continue to fight until the game is won.
Rebuttal from you?
I mean, I agree. The emotions can run high, and we saw it against San Francisco when Aaron Donald had huddled up the defense and he was talking to them. And you saw when he was talking, they listened. My only issue that for our secondary is that when you're doing, man-to-man coverage, I don't want you giving up, a lot of space in between the person you're trying to contain. That's my concern. If you're going to stick a man, you stick him, from start to finish, the entire route. Don't give him any leverage over you to try to make big yards count for first or second down or even on a third down conversion. And I'll go even further, even a fourth down. I mean, this is a Rams defense, you didn't see it too much on fourth down this year, but when it comes down to like serious fourth down conversions of other teams trying to go for it, the Rams were pretty successful throughout the year stopping fourth down conversions. So that's where I'm going to be very happy, especially if it's on a run. On a pass, the only thing I don't want to see is a hold, pass interference, hands to the face. I don't want to see any of that stupid stuff. I think if they can avoid that, I think this game should go out, the way I think, a lot of people do, is that the Rams will win.
And then also, if Arizona wants to release AJ Green, we can pick up AJ Green for one more body slam of Jalen Ramsey. That's what the people want.
Just had to go there, didn't you?
Say that one more time, Blaze.
I said if Arizona wants to release AJ Green, we would gladly take him back for one more body slam and choke out of Jalen Ramsey.
Well, I mean, you saw Deebo Samuel get popped and had the wind knocked out of him. Don't be surprised if that happens to Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and then also the Bengals are one of the least penalized teams in the NFL. So if we play a clean game, I like our odds.
Actually, both the Rams and Cincinnati are in top 10 for fewest penalties throughout the year.
That's good. That's a clean game. I mean, that benefits everybody watching. So
penalties will make or break your game.
Definitely.
Unmute yourself, Andre.
Yeah, I'll give you guys 5 minutes apiece to give us your closing arguments on your teams. And then everybody could decide who's watching this, who will win Super Bowl. Who will win this Super Bowl? All right. This is 54 Super Bowls, 55 now?
56.
56? Oh, yes, 56. 56 Super Bowls. All right, so we are already at Super Bowl 56. Who will win Super Bowl 56? Will it be the AFC Cincinnati Bengals or will it be the NFC LA Rams? All right, 5 minutes in closing. You won the toss, Eric, and deferred and had it deferred by Blaze in the beginning. We're going to start with Blaze this time. We're going to give you 5 minutes, and then, Eric, you have 5 minutes.
All right. Who started off?
You.
Oh, me. Okay. I saw you on the screen. That's what I was wondering.
Go for it.
Anyways, Joe Burrow. Big time Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. He's going to win this game. We drafted number 1 in the draft. As you can see, all these teams in the NFL were trying to tank in 2019. We weren't even trying. We just had the worst team, and it paid out in our advantage. We are going to have some issues in this game trying to defend Aaron Donald and that pass rush, but Joe Burrow gets the ball out of his hands quickly. This is one game. This is the Super Bowl. And if you have to bet money on one game with one of these quarterbacks, it's going to be Joe Burrow. Um, Everything that they do well, I believe we have a counterpunch for, except for the offensive line, unfortunately. Um, this will be monumental because one of the oldest phrases in football is football is won through the trenches. So once we win this Super Bowl, we're not going to debunk that because we need to get some offensive line next year. But it's going to be very, very interesting. From day one this season, I said we needed to draft Jamar Chase over Penny Sewell. It's definitely paid off. Actually, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of draft picks that I wanted. Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, Jamar Chase, Trey Hill, who's our backup center, Evan McPherson. These are all guys I've had in my mock drafts leading up to the draft, and it was amazing when we got these guys. So exciting. All these guys have played crucial roles, and I guess to close this out, the number one reason we're going to win the Super Bowl is Evan McPherson, our clutch kicker. So we just got to get on about 50 yards away from the field goal, and we'll be in good shape to score points. And Cincinnati Bengals will win the Super Bowl. I don't need 5 minutes.
Eric, your turn.
Well, with all that being said, let me just summarize. So, as I alluded to, that the Rams had gone all out this year to make sure that they would be in position when it mattered most. Sean McVay and this Rams team has gone above and beyond to getting all the right pieces to the puzzle to find something that actually works for them cohesively, and they found it. Getting rid of Jared Goff has made such a tremendous, progressive impact in bringing in Matthew Stafford. In his first year, he finishes third in the NFL with, 4,886 yards passing. He had 41 touchdowns. He did things this year, with his interceptions that I thought was like, all right, he could have done better, without a doubt. I'm not going to make no sugarcoat about it. He could have made some better decisions this year. But overall, if you look at the consistency factor this year, the Rams at one point were, 7-1. Yeah, they had the 3-game losing streak. And then they won again. They found their momentum. Bringing in Von Miller, getting Eric Weddle out of retirement, having, Robert Woods, God bless him, having torn, the ACL, gone down. Cooper Kupp stepped up. And when Cooper Kupp stepped up, he made it count. He just set a new NFL record for most games with 100 or more yards for regular and postseason with his 13th 100-yard game, breaking the record of Michael Irvin. Just keep that in mind. And Cooper Kupp cannot be contained. And I made it very clear from the beginning what he has done this postseason and what he's done throughout the entire year. He is arguably the best wide receiver in football right now. People want to say Devontae Adams. I got nothing wrong with that. But right now, as it stands, with the Rams being in the Super Bowl, Cooper Kupp proved he is the best wide receiver. You look at all the supporting, cast around him with Odell Beckham Jr., Ben Skoranek, Kendall Blanton. You got Van Jefferson. You got Tyler Higbee. You got Sony Michel and Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson running. You got Andrew Whitworth up front, the ageless wonder, being a vet, former Cincinnati Bengal. You look at our defense with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Greg Gaines up front. You got Jalen Ramsey in the back, Tutu Atwell. We have so many weapons that can hurt you offensively and defensively. And when our defense steps up and locks in, as I mentioned, it is very hard. You look at what the Rams have done this postseason. You look at the divisional game against Tampa Bay. You look at the wildcard game, beating Arizona 34-11. Going into Tampa, taking down Tom Brady 30-27. And then you look at this game against San Francisco, winning 20-17. Our team in 3 games scored 84 points, giving up only 55 points. That means we're basically giving up 17, 18 points a game in the postseason. This is a team that is poised for victory. They will be clicking on all cylinders. They know it's at stake. This is a team that wants to make the biggest headline. Have a new quarterback come in. The guy from Georgia, coming from the Detroit Lions. He wants to be remembered for something. Well, this is what he's going to be remembered for. Matthew Stafford in his debut season with the Los Angeles Rams, stepping up in the biggest game of his career, making the throws that are necessary to help his team. The LA Rams will be victorious over the Cincinnati Bengals. And whether it's Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, or Aaron Donald getting Super Bowl MVP, they will earn it. And God bless them. And I cannot wait to see this game.
You are right, though. You are right. They will be remembered. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be remembered as a team that won it at home, and the Rams will be the team that lost it at home. Because the Cincinnati Bengals are winning this Super Bowl. 55, 50, what is it? 56, baby.
Whoa. I want to emphasize that one more time. Please tell them one more time what you just said. Say that one more time.
I mean, it was no big deal. Just
let's not say it.
I said that the Rams will be remembered the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay will be remembered the team that won it in their home stadium, and the Rams will be remembered as a team that lost it in their home stadium. Go Bengals.
All right. Speaking of which, I heard some award conversation at the end of Eric Manzuck's presentation. By the way, you guys have done a phenomenal job with this. Man, this is to be heard stuff right here on Rise Up Unlimited Radio Show. All right, brought to you by WDAP Radio and WDAP TV. Listen, I need to know from you guys. Obviously, you want to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. It is all about that award. But players who deserve awards on your team, what awards do you think your players deserve this year as it pertains to other awards outside of the Super Bowl? I'll give you 2 minutes to speak on that. I'll start with Eric Manzuck and then go right to Blaze afterwards.
I think without a doubt, Cooper Kupp definitely deserves to be in that MVP conversation. Without a doubt. There's no mistaking. Like I said, this guy was the Triple Crown winner. This guy had 145 catches, 1,947 yards catching. You know, he had 16 touchdowns. I mean, he was so far ahead of the rest of the field. It wasn't even close. I mean, he had 300 plus more yards than the next closest person. I mean, this is a guy that literally stepped up and made it count. Like I said earlier, this is a guy a year ago with Jared Goff at only 972 yards, and this season has almost 1,000 more yards with Matthew Stafford. And let me give comeback player to Matthew Stafford right there. Coming out of Detroit, of all places where he was so unsuccessful, 0-3 in his lifetime, he really never had a structured offense or defense that would help him be consistent. You know, this is a guy who's gone so far, you know, in this league, and now to be in a situation where he's poised to get his first Super Bowl, what a better comeback story. And then on the defensive side, there's no mistaking Aaron Donald would be our defensive player of the year. Without a doubt, he impacts the game in a way that no other defensive interior lineman can. The amount of double and triple team coverages he has gotten over the last 4 or 5 years is through the roof. There is not another player on the defensive side that gets more in double and triple team coverages than Aaron Donald. Facts are facts. So for me, those three stand out. And then from just the offensive side, the most offensive, you know, player of the year, Cooper Kupp again, without a doubt. He did things this year that just, you know, he rewrote the record books for the most yards of scrimmage for the regular and postseason with 2,273. Only 3 people in NFL history, including Kupp, have done this. The other 2 are Deebo Samuel and Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, one of the NFL's greatest wide receivers of all time. And Cooper Kupp to be in this list with Deebo and Jerry, it doesn't get much more satisfying than that. So from that standpoint, those are my awards for the year for the NFL, for our team. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I would give Cooper Kupp some accolades, and I would definitely probably put him in that top 5 for MVP voting. He's definitely my offensive player of the year, Cooper Kupp, so I will give you guys some love with that. As far as awards for my team, Joe Burrow would be on the outside a little bit of that MVP, but you definitely have to consider him. I would definitely wouldn't give him the dub for that. But I will give Joe Burrow the comeback player of the year, coming back from that gruesome injury, second year of the NFL. That's already a tough task as it is. And then come back from that ACL injury and then to be in the Super Bowl. Another honorable mention for the comeback player of the year award would be Joe Mixon. Over 1,500 yards of all scrimmage yards. He's definitely played an integral part of our offense. Also had an injury last year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is an easy one. It's Jamar Chase. And if we wanted to be a team unit about it, we can also throw Evan McPherson on there too, because Evan McPherson has definitely been the MVP of these playoffs for us. So we might as well just make it a co Rookie of the Year right there, because we are a team. The Cincinnati Bengals are. We play like a team. And then what was the other one? Offensive player. I think that was it. Oh, Coach of the Year. How can I forget? Sorry, Zach Taylor, Coach of the Year. Zach Taylor was on the hot seat coming into the year. Before the season, I said, Zach Taylor, you better win 9 games. He did not only win those 9 games, he got you the Super Bowl. So definitely big kudos to Zach Taylor. He also has made this tradition in Cincinnati where when we win playoff games, he goes out to a local bar and gives them a game ball, getting the community involved into the playoff atmosphere and the playoff wins. So that's definitely a really cool thing I liked about Zach Taylor. So those would be my awards for the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right. Last but not least, predictions as we close out.
I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning the Super Bowl 26-23. You're not going to hear me saying some mumbo jumbo. We're going to blow these guys out. The LA Rams are a serious contender. They're there for a reason. If you were to look before the season, there is a good chunk of people that picked the LA Rams to be there. I don't think anybody picked the Cincinnati Bengals to be there. So it will be a close game, but the Cincinnati Bengals team started these playoffs saying, it could be us. And now they're saying it is us. It is us. We are the Super Bowl champs. We are going to be the Super Bowl champs. 26-23.
Eric Ben's up.
Well, this Ram team knows how to score points. You look at 2 of the last 3 games, they've put up 30 or more. I honestly think it's going to be high scoring, but in the end, I think the Rams are going to be taking this game. I've got the Rams 38-24.
You giving them 2 touchdown win? A 2 touchdown win is not going to be close, Eric?
I think with our defense, the amount of pressure that's going to be on Joe Burrow, it's going to be very tough for him to try to get rid of that ball and find, Jamar Chase downfield.
Well, thank God for Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
All right. And with that being said, you've heard it first right here. You heard it first right here on the Rise Up Unlimited radio show. All right. I'm the fire starter. And for my guys right here, Thunder Blaze Gabbert, representative of the Cincinnati Bengals, and the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, Houday Nation.
That's right. I want to thank the fire starter for letting me on here, and we're going to put that fire out of the LA Rams.
All right. And I also want to thank my brother from another mother too, Eric Manzuck, the statistician guru, the statistician guru in the house with the cat on his back. Oh, perfect time to have a cat in his background. Perfect time to have a cat in his background.
There's only one difference.
What's the difference?
That's a cat, and on my screen I see a Bengal kitten.
Listen, nobody can stop the Tiger King Joe Burrow, not even Carol Baskins.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, I got the eye of the tiger, so I already know.
We want to thank God for tuning in, man. This has been a lot of fun. I hope to get these guys more involved in what's going on with the Super Bowl as the weeks continue to roll on. All right, because Super Bowl Sunday is when?
February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day.
February 13th.
And then February 14th, the Cincinnati is closing all schools down for the celebration parade, rolling through on Valentine's Day. So all Cincinnati schools will be closed on February 14th for the celebration of the Super Bowl.
All right. Anything going on in LA, Eric?
All I just heard was a lot of people in Cincinnati are going to be alone on Valentine's Day.
I heard flash flood warnings from all the tears in LA. That's what I heard.
Oh
No, it's going to be a lot of tears of happiness realizing that they just put down some kittens. I'm kidding.
It's gonna look like the '94 riots after y'all lose.
here we go. All right. We want to thank y'all again. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. Listen, in 2022, be a supporter. Stop being a hater. All right. Stop hacking my damn Facebook while I'm doing shows, man. I hate that. Don't do that.
It's 2022. It's the year of the tiger, damn it. Come on now. Show some
respect. Don't be annoying. Thank you, Tristan, Matt, Carlos, Marcus, Amber, everybody who tuned in on this side. Chuck Thomas was good. Everybody who tuned in, if I didn't mention your name, charge it to my heart. Appreciate you, but nevertheless, get ready for the Super Bowl. It's coming.
Oh, right. Before we go, what is your prediction for the Super Bowl?
My prediction is I'm going to be watching a phenomenal game between two phenomenal teams that deserve to be there. And
That's
with that,
not what I meant.
We're out of here.
That's not what I meant.